Hello there. I've got another edition of What's in My Pen Case for you. So these are the pens that will be going in my bag and out and about and work and whatever with me through the week, because I like a bit of choice, and this is generally how I try out new pens that I've got in order to see how much I like them, etc, etc. So yeah, what's in my pen case? Let's see. So this one had just arrived the last time I did one of these, and I hadn't inked it at that point, so it's still knocking around. This is the Hongan 1837, yeah, which has this nice flowery pattern, artwork, whatever you like, on the barrel. So it is a weightier pen, feels like brass, and then lacquered over before that paint job. You got a number 6 sized fine nib on there, and this one is a cartridge converter pen, which I have now filled up. So you got your kind of standard Chinese issue converter, which was included there. Nice O-ring for cushioning closure. Not the biggest pen in the world, but it has a nice bit of heft to it. It sits well in my hand. So that's going in the case this week. I thought this week I would just tell you what I've inked it with out of general curiosity. So this one is inked with Diamond Sargasso C, which I have been liking a lot recently. It's a nice vibrant blue. Perhaps I'll zoom in on these after if you want a little bit more look at the inkies. There you go, a nice patch of that. Yeah, so I'm quite enjoying that, and I will hopefully do a review and report back on that one soon. Next up, this one's newish to me. I've not had it inked up long, about 10 minutes actually. This is the Hongan N9, which has quite a nice resin on it actually. Just a hint of sparkle, just in that you've got some nice darker and light patches. It comes off well in the light, and then just some hints of sparkle on there. Clip which looks like it should be kind of spring loaded but isn't. You just vaguely lift it off there, but you know, it's all right, it's usable. Again, number 6 sized steel nib. So this one is a medium blade nib. I mentioned last time I'd like some more mediums. You can get medium, but it's a blade. Comes with included converter, no O-ring on this one, and you've got a metal, so it's a resin body, so a bit lighter, and you've got a metal, well done, remembered the English language there for a second, metal insert there for the screw thread, cap threads, barrel threads, right? A bit smaller than possibly my standard offering or my preference. It will post quite nicely. Might just be a little bit long for me posted, and then might just be a little bit short for me unposted, so we shall see, time shall tell on this one. So this one is loaded up with Diamond Cherry Sunburst, which doesn't match the pen per se, but I quite like this ink and I haven't used it in a while, so I thought I'd pop that one in. So as I say, this is a blade nib. Now from what I can tell, the blade nib is basically an architect or thereabouts. So you've got the thinner downstrokes and thicker cross strokes. And it is very smooth and does offer you some natural line variation in kind of the opposite way to a stub would be. Not sure how that's going to get on with my usual cursive scribble, but from first impressions it's actually quite smooth and works well on my angles. So again, we will see about that one. What's next? This is still hanging around from last time actually, still got a load of ink in there, so need to get that used up. So we have the Asine P36 titanium demonstrator model. This one is a medium number 6 sized steel nib, plastic feeds. Really liking this one. Does kind of post. I say kind of, it does, but not very deeply, and it makes it very long. So that's an unposted for me. This one is loaded up with Diamond. Not to look ahead. I'm not sure if I've got anything other than Diamond in. Oh yeah, I have. Diamond Earl Grey, which I love. My favourite grey ink. Never thought I'd be one for grey ink, but I do. Put a bit more in there. But I do really like the Diamond Earl Grey. As I say, loving this nib. Really nice and smooth, and pretty wet as well. So need to get this one reviewed soon. But as you can see, I've still got a ton of ink to use up there. Maybe time for copying out a Sherlock Holmes story. Next up, we have a TSBY Diamond 580 ALR in Sunset. Picked this one up at the October London Pen Show last year, because I did like the finish. Had been thinking of an ALR for a little amount of time, and I like the finish on this. Picked it up a bit cheaper than kind of retail, so I was happy with that. This one has TSBY's like number 5 sized nib, steel medium in this case. You've got the nice ridges along there on the section of the ALR model, just aiding on the grip there, which is quite nice. Demonstrator piston filler. So you've got all your ink sloshing around in there, and you've got a number of facets on the side of the pen, so it does make it glisten in the light, hence the kind of diamond, 580 diamond. And your trims and piston mechanism are the same colour as the section there, so it makes it quite nice. As you can see, I've got a bit of a matchy going on with the ink, at least through the barrel. So the ink in here is platinum, citrus black, which is a fun ink because it darkens as it dries, so it goes on quite bright and almost not really legible sometimes, depending on the light. And then dries, as you can see it drying behind me here, dries into that darker, blacker tone. So it's a fun ink, but I'm kind of regretting putting it in this because it holds a reasonable amount of ink and it takes a while to use up, and it's honestly, it's not great for everyday writing. Certainly out on the go, I suppose, but because it just comes out quite light, and yeah, can be hard for me anyway to kind of follow where I'm writing and what I'm doing, and consequently sometimes my handwriting looks a lot worse than usual. Not possible, you say? Well, it is. Yep, so I thought I'd use up some of that ink and get a review done on that one. And then we've got a Hongan A6 So this is piston filler with the metal skeleton overlay. And I'm not sure what the pattern on the overlay is. I kind of at one point thought it looked musical, like kind of musical notes, but I thought, no, that's daft. It looks more like vines or plants or something. If you're really lucky, I might look it up before I do the review, but don't hold your breath, right? Because I'm pretty lazy. So nice weighty pen. So the whole overlay is metal, as opposed to the Hongan D5, which has the metal looking, silver looking overlay, but is in fact plastic on the barrel itself. So this one's a bit weightier, and I like that. Fine, number 6 size steel nib again. Hongan, because they seem to be doing a lot of fines, or extra fine, no medium at the moment. So the ink in here is, wow, that's not how you do one of them. Visconti. Turquoise. Which is a very nice ink. Right up my alley. But I'm going to say it's not really turquoise. It's more leans teal, I would say. Not that I'm a colour expert, but to me, it's a beautiful ink. I really like it, but I think it's more of a teal. What do you think? Turquoise, teal? What do you think? What do you think? So yeah, enjoying this one. I've had this a little while actually and not got around to a review, but I do like the nice. This is a nice fine. I think I mentioned last time, I've got nothing against fine. I just like a bit of choice. But if it's going to be if it's going to be regularly used by me, a nice fine for me is nice and smooth and pretty wet, and this does the trick. So that this has kind of the blue tinged plastic, translucent underneath that that overlay, which is nice. They do a couple of these. They do a gold one, gold metal, and they do like a black chrome, kind of ruthenium-esque metal with a black coated nib. So I may check one of them out in the future. And then I've got a Jinhal X159, which I'm sure many are familiar with. Cartridge converter pan. Go on, get some ink down there. I'll need you in a sec. Converter included. Nice O-ring cushion down here. It is very much an impression of a Montblanc 149. But at a fraction of the price, obviously. It's not made of the same materials, but however, if you're going to judge it on merit, and it's a £5 to £10 pen, very, very nice. This particular one has, I've got like, I don't know, 10 X159s in different colours and stuff like that. This particular nib on this one I absolutely love. So the ink in here is Clairefontaine, Faber-Castell. Not sure what that accent was meant to be, by the way. You get the picture. Midnight blue. Which is a nice blue-black. I don't use very often actually. But I just reached for the other day. I fancied a blue-black, and I don't have many, so I reached for this one. But as you might be able to tell there, this nib is nicely wet, and it's very smooth. And you can even get a tiny bit of line variation out of there if you want to. I am by no means saying every single Jinhal X159 nib is like this, because as I say, I own 10-ish. None of them are particularly bad. It's just this one's lovely. I think one of mine is a little bit dry. I could probably sort it out if I could be asked, but you know, might get to it at some stage. The rest are fine, they work. This one's lovely, so I just fancied that in my case this week. So, just for a little look at the inks, if you like. So we've got the Diamond Sargasso C there, it's nice vibrant blue. The Cherry Sunburst, which can offer some nice bits of shading from time to time. Not sure if that's the right nib for that. Diamond L Grey, it's my favourite grey. A nice kind of darker. Does offer a nice bit of shading with the right nib, but it's, if you've got a nice wet nib, it can be quite dark, and I like that. Platinum Citrus Black, which dries dark, you kind of black yellow, but goes on quite light, so depending on what you might be using it for, can be a bit annoying if you actually want to follow where you've put your ink on your page immediately as you're writing. Visconti Turquoise, which is very nice, but as I say, I'd call it a teal. I'd say the camera's picking that up reasonably accurately, so, you know, what do you think? And then Graph from Faber-Castell, Midnight Blue, nice blue-black. I think I remember liking Waterman Mysterious Blue a little bit better for a blue-black, but I gave away my bottle to my mum, so I need to get another bottle of the Waterman and see if I remember rightly. Anyway, that's what's going in my pen case this week. That's what I will be using and testing and whatnot, and hopefully reviewing soon if I haven't already. If I've reviewed any of these, by the way, which I haven't, just the X159, I think. I'll put a link in the description down below. And if I haven't, then hopefully I will review them soon. And I hope you vaguely enjoyed this. And I hope you have a lovely day doing what you're doing. Ooh, easy, sunshine. You can go in too. Bye.